Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Fulton Street Beats. Studio monitor day, a happy day for me. It's such a happy day. I've been wanting new studio monitors for, well, quite some time. And after a lot of research, I finally decided on a pair. And while looking, I discovered that there was a vast sea of studio monitors that ranged in prices from very inexpensive to ridiculously priced. And I'm not a sound engineer. I don't need a ridiculously priced set of studio monitors, but I would like a decent set that mixes well and helps me make it easier to produce some music for you and maybe some YouTube videos. Now, I was running the Dynafors, however you want to say it. And they're a 4-inch near-field monitor. And when Donner came out with these monitors, and we were doing everything on the cheap and very inexpensive, they worked well. They work good. They're bulletproof. They're very solid. But they're a very near-field monitor. And if you want to extend them out to any width, they start losing their projection. Although they're a phenomenal studio monitor, I could never use them properly because, well, I have too much stuff and I needed too much of a field to back it, spread it out. So I started the search for some other studio monitors. Now, I settled on some JBL MKII 306s, their professional series. And they really weren't that expensive at all. But they have a lot of usable features. Now, to put it in perspective, we'll start right out of the gate. JBL makes some awesome speakers. They always have. And they've made some not so awesome speakers too. So I was a bit skeptical with the JBLs, but I was a bit skeptical with a lot of them. I looked at the KRKs, the Calis, you name it. And they just didn't have exactly what I wanted. A lot of them had features that, well, would take a Philadelphia lawyer to figure out, and I just didn't want to go that route. Some had active EQs in the back and all kinds of stuff, and you know, I don't want to spend my time adjusting. I want to set it, forget it, and do some good mixing. So that's where these JBLs came in, and well, they're JBL, right? So let me tell you a little bit about these, and we're going to give you a demo of these and one fast mix that we're going to do with this bass and a guitar over here, and it's going to be just very, very, very simple. And the object of this demo is just to show you how much better they mix. And this is the first mix that I've done. Fast and simple. But it goes to show when you're hearing things correctly, how much better you can make your adjustments. And that's exactly what they did. At least I think that's what they did. You'll be the first to know. So anyhow, these JBLs, these MKII 306s, professional series, they're really inexpensive. They come in at around $300 for the pair. Wow. I never knew it. And they're rather a good size speaker. They're a 6-inch driver. And they have that amazing tweeter technology. Now, some of the technologies in the speaker are carried over from the JBL M2 reference monitor system. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with that, that's a $28,000 speaker system for monitors. That's right. And this uses some of the exact same technologies, which is very cool. So let me give you some specs on these monitors before we go into it. And if you guys are interested in my Donners that I have that are like brand new, they just don't suit my space any longer. I needed more punch. but they work great. And the Donners would work great in a bedroom. If you're interested in those, they're on Reverb. I'll leave a link in the description below, and they will come with all your cables, unlike when you buy them. And they are the Dana 4s, not the 3.5. So be careful, because a lot of sellers sell the 3.5s as 4s, and they're not. Okay, just want to put that out there. Okay, so driver size. They're a 6.5-inch driver. And then we have a 1-inch tweeter, and that's a soft dome. We have a 1425 hertz crossover, and it's a Linkwitz Riley. Power configuration, of course, it's bi-amped. That's awesome. They're powered. They're awesome. Of course, they're a Class D amplifier, and they're 56 watts each. But I believe there's 2 amps in these. I think there's 2 amplifiers that run these, if I am not mistaken. Frequency response is 47 hertz to 20,000 kilohertz, plus or minus 3 decibels. And then our frequency range is 39 hertz to 24,000 kilohertz, minus 10 dB. Low frequency extension is 39 hertz, minus 10 dB. And maximum continuous SPL is 92 decibels. Maximum peak SPL is 110 decibels. And before I go any further, these things are clean. And if you want to reproduce music the way it was intended, the way it was recorded, I've found experimenting with these. I unboxed them and I dove right in, and I was up all night dialing these in and getting them right. I spent 2 hours just in placement for quality, for mixing, just in placement to get them just perfect. And what I will tell you is, you'll love them, but you'll hate them, because if there was any mistakes made in the engineering of the audio, these are going to show it. They're going to show you. They don't hide anything, that's for sure. But that's what makes them so good too, because you'll pick up nuances that you didn't know were there also. So these make an awesome playback speaker also, depending on where you put your settings. Would I recommend them for a living room? I don't see why not. I have some high-end speakers that I run. I'm a bit of an older audiophile when it comes to speakers and home theater. And these are fantastic. But like I said, if something's wrong, they're going to let you know real quick. And that's the point of a studio monitor. Okay, maximum peak level is plus 6 dBV, plus 20.3 dBu. System distortion criteria is less than 10% DHD at maximum output with full compressor and limiter engagement. So signal to noise is 75 dBA, A-weighted, 70 dBr unweighted. Relative is 2.3 VRMS output. I know a lot of you don't know what these terms mean. If you don't, just look them up real quick. You get a better understanding, because it can get very technical. And a lot of these numbers don't mean anything if the speaker can't do what it's designed to do. In other words, anything can be written on paper. I've seen many, many speakers that do not perform the way they're supposed to, at least the way they're written to. Coverage pattern, 120 degrees by 90 degrees, horizontal and vertical. Your HF trim control is -2. Yes, it has a trim control on the back, and that's a -2 decibel, 0 decibel, and plus 2 decibels. That's adjustable between those 3 points. And then you have a boundary EQ on the back with a low shelf at 50 hertz. That's adjustable also. You got, like I said, your boundary EQ. You have an XLR input on the back for your dedicated XLR for your balance cables, or you can run your 1/4-inch jack. Of course, you can adjust your input sensitivity. I don't know why they recessed this in the back, but it's recessed maybe so you don't accidentally bump it. But it's recessed into the back. You do need a little tool to get in there to flick that over. But according to whatever interface or whatever your signal is, you adjust it to that, by the way. Your boundary EQ, I just went over that. And, of course, your voltage is 100 to 240. So there you go on that. Each one has an off-on switch on the back, and they're very clean. They're very stout. They got a nice hefty weight. They have a really high-end look and feel. A lot of people don't like the gloss of the JBL in the front. I think the gloss of JBL's is, well, awesome. It tells me it's a JBL, and their tweeter technology and their tweeter design that they use on their cabinets, and it's MDF, by the way, that they use on their cabinets, really will give you really precise treble adjustments, which is cool. And the bass response of these are on par for what you need for this space. And I was going to go with the 308s. Now, 308s are, well, an 8-inch driver. These are 306s. 306s are perfect for this environment in my much bigger studio than I was in before. 308s still would have worked fantastic. I can't think that they would be worse. A lot of people say they're overkill for the room, but you're still, it's about frequency response and what's making your ear. So if you adjust and dial everything in, yeah, 308 should work fine. 306s are perfect, and the price point is lower, and they do everything that I need them to do. I am really happy with these monitors. Now, I was going to do an unboxing. I do have it recorded, although it came out bad because, well, all my equipment was down because I was switching everything over. But I don't know if I'm going to release that or not, but let's just do a quick recording. I got to run in here because it's hot in here. I had the AC off, and I'm going to change my clothes real quick. We're going to come back. We're going to lay down just a couple tracks and just run them through the DAW, fine-tune it a little bit quickly with these JBLs, quickly. I want to see how fast I can throw together a track that sounds kind of okay. And then we'll come back later, not in this episode, but later on, and we'll really dial these things in and fine-tune them. But blink of an eye for you, quite a while for me. Come back, check these out. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. Did this do an all right, off-the-fly representation? Is that the word I'm looking for? Of these instruments that I'm using. Is it producing well? Did my ear kind of pick out what needed to be picked out and put it out there for you? Is it mixed okay? Now, like I said, I'm going to keep it really, really, really simple. So nothing crazy. We'll get crazy later on, and we'll add a bunch of things, and we'll do a bunch of production. But let's see how this is produced. So if you haven't already, hit that like button, share, and subscribe. And if you're interested in these monitors, I'm going to leave a link in the description below, and get them while they're this cheap, because, man, they're cheap, and their quality, they're really, really nice. One of my best purchases here at Fulton Street. Definitely one of the best. All right, guys, I'll be talking to you soon. And remember, it's rock and roll that makes the world go round. Rock and roll. Rock and roll. I'm going to leave that in there. Rock and roll that makes the world go round. Peace. Bye.